Welcome to the Better Sundays podcast. You are at episode number 5, and this is the one where we're talking about how to get people to come back to church. Lots of times we can bring them in, but how to bring them back is what the focus is here. If you have not caught all 5 of these, you can follow the link at the end, and it should get you all the way back to the very first one and watch all 5 topics here in our Easter Prep series. So we're going to get right into this one, and I have a few things to say right at the end, so we'll see you back here in just a few moments. And jump to the last one here, what we call follow-up. Follow-up. Now, to me, this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where things get exciting because we want to have people come back. The Christmas and Easter thing, don't care for it. I mean, I'm glad they're coming, okay, but I want them back. And so our goals, one of our goals that we have set up for, and one of the things we focus on is this date right here, April 7th. That is the Sunday after Easter. Easter this year is on the 31st of March. April 7th is when your goal is. You want to do things, you want to think about things and have strategy so people are returning the following week. Okay, how do we get people to do that? So make this in your vision. We want people to come back the next week. Everything we're going to do, get them to come back the nenext week. So how do you kind of create that anticipation, as we call it? And by the way, just like you can create a sermon, just like you can create an emotion or whatever, you can create anticipation. And this is one of the most important things that I want you to work on, is to think about how you get people to come back the next week. Let me give you a few suggestions. Number one, we believe it is best for you to start a sermon series, something that is really tangible, helpful, solution-based sermon, and you start that on Easter and you continue it. So it's like part 1 is on Easter, okay? And part 2, okay, is on next week. So come back next week and we're going to learn about whatever it happens to be. And you can do this if you're an expository preacher, or you can do this if you're a topical preacher. It just takes a little bit of time ahead of time to come up with those titles and work it out. So next week, I'm going to be covering how to do what I just told you about, So you create a sermon series that will take you, that will get people to come back. You can also create anticipation for the children's ministry, where the children's ministry people are doing kind of like Vacation Bible School story. And then it's like, and come back next week to find out what happens to Tifam, the little Indonesian kid. And, you tell some story, and you know how that works with children. Have your children's people do something like that. And the following week, they might have a special, spring party or something along that line. So the kids are going back to their parents and saying, hey, Mom, I got to be back in Sunday school next week. I got to find out what happened, to Billy Block. And I got to learn the answers here and some of that. So you can create anticipation in a lot of different ways. We do family photos often on Easter, where we have a professional photographer come in. We have a backdrop. We have the lights. We have all that. We advertise it in the community. Come get your family photos taken. And then we print a bunch of proofs. And guess when the proofs are going to be available? Well, they're not going to be right there because the person's taking all the pictures and they're digital, and you could probably see it, but you can't, see it any bigger than a little bitty old square on a computer. We're going to print these and have copies of these for you April 7th. So join us on April 7th. Your family photos will be right there. And so we then try to have them, we fill out a little form. So if you can't make it on there, that we can email these to you, or we can bring them by your house. So again, another way to get that connection information. We've got their card, we got their email, we got their cell phone, so we can text them the pictures, but we create anticipation as much as we possibly can. You can do other things too. You could have, depending on the weather or whatever, you could have on the April 7th, you could have like an after church, picnic or something along that line. We usually do some type of parental training, how to deal with an angry child, how to deal with a mouthy child, how to deal with a disobedient child. We do a bunch of training, and we start that on April 7th, and that's after church, and we do it in the afternoon. So you can hang out after church. We're going to go through and teach you some things on parenting. So a lot of things can be done to bring people back. You get that big burst of people on the 7th or on the 31st, and then you want to bring them back. The other thing, to, of course, is some type of midweek connection. And this is where you're going to connect with these people, either with a personal visit, which is obviously the best, okay? But it's very difficult to do in this day and age sometimes with people working multiple jobs. You can't always get to their house, okay? But we've captured their email through a connection card. We've got their cell phone number. We're going to be sending them something directly to their phone. We're going to be sending them an email, and we're going to be connecting with them and giving them a link to our website or a link to a relevant YouTube video of some sort that has to do with the message that you just taught on. And we're going to have something in the middle of the week that we connect. Now, that letter we talked about, they'll get in the mail if you mail it on Monday. Where we live, they'll probably get it 3 weeks later because the mail seems to be super slow lately. But you can connect with people during the midweek through a variety of ways, and you want to have some of that set up so you got some visitation type of stuff that is going on. So those are some of those are the 5 main things. Now, if this has been helpful for you, we have just a really helpful thing that we have done for the last several years. And this is what we call the 9-day Easter challenge. And you can go to it, and we have 9 videos, boom, 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 that are going to come out. And they're going to deal with a lot of these type of things we just dealt with. We're going to the must-do things on Easter week. There's a bunch of them. All of these are going to come directly to you. But you just go to reachkeep.com/Easter challenge, and it's one word, just Easter challenge altogether. There'll be a little thing, you enter email, and guess what? Tomorrow, boom, you'll get one. Okay. They're all going to be there. They're all going to be helpful. We're talking about promotion. We're going to talk about, build it now, use it later, the benefits of Easter, a lot of really good stuff. If you need some more coaching along that line. We're so thankful you're able to join us here for the entire 5 sessions in the Easter Prep Workshop. This was a live workshop that we present in a webinar type of format, and hopefully you can get in on the next one. To keep an eye open for those things, you can go to reachkeep.com, our primary website, or you can always get our regular training on YouTube. Just type in the words reach and keep, and it should take you right to our channel. Much of this is also provided by the Reachkeep Academy, and this is our monthly membership training where you get a lot of coaching, a lot of accountability, a lot of really good advice, and a lot of time spent together working out some of these things that we've talked about. And you can find information at reachkeep.com/academy. And we hope that you take a look at that and go ahead and join up, and we'll be able to spend a lot of time with you one-on-one doing some coaching and on phone and on our Zoom classes. So again, thank you for this. If you want to go back and watch all these again, there should be a little box here at the end, should take you all the way back to the very first one. But thanks for being with us here at the Better Sundays podcast at reachkeep.com.